Today we're going to discuss the tips and tricks that I use to pass my boards. Now the NPJE, also known as the law exam for pharmacy, can be very daunting and very challenging for a lot of people. Working in retail, having so many years of experience, I personally feel like helped me a little bit just because I saw so much of it through repetition. But a caveat to that is do not mix the law with your job. Now I can't speak for any other state, but the state of Missouri gives us this thing called a Missouri Pharmacy Practice Guide. And essentially it's about 170 pages of the law for pharmacists. Now, even though it says 2025, the law ain't changing that much. So it's very useful, very good to use. I essentially read this thing cover to cover. Yes, cover to cover, word for word. And that's exhausting. It might seem like a lot. It's either that or you don't get licensed. The second resource that I use is this platform called PharmLaw. And essentially this one is not free. So it's $150, but it is well worth the price. I will say, I think it's important that you read the practice guide first and then jump to PharmLaw, just because the practice guide is very, very detailed. Now jumping over to the NAPLEX, this exam is a beast. 6-hour exam, 225 questions, and you're also offered 2 10-minute optional breaks. If I were you, I would take each break. Now the platform that I use for the NAPLEX is called UWorld or RX Prep. And one tip that my friend got me hip to that I think everybody should do is breaking that big old book down into mini sections. So essentially I went to Office Max, Office Depot, wherever. How you want to break it down, where you want to break it down, that's completely up to you. Truly, I feel like breaking the book down makes it a little bit easier to study and digest because you're not looking at this huge thing at once, right? Because I think looking at that book, it can be very, very intimidating. Another thing I love about the UWorld platform is that they have not only the physical book, but then they also have a question bank online. Videos, practice exams, you have practice quizzes, and you can take those quizzes as much as you want. You will not know everything before you take this exam. And that's okay. You're not meant to know everything. You need to know calculations. Practice, practice, practice. Another thing I would say is very beneficial is mnemonics. Now, UWorld gives you a ton of mnemonics of their own. For example, G loves Pac-Man or PS Porks. I know that's probably traumatizing for a lot of y'all. It is for me too, trust me. You know more than you think. Going into both of the exams, I was questioning myself. I'm like, I don't know enough. I'm not prepared. I'm not this, I'm not that. We get to these exams and we sit down. It's like our mind goes blank. Just take a moment, breathe, say a prayer. You got it. Know that things happen. Failure is okay. If you don't pass the first time, if you don't pass the second time, if you don't pass the third time, get up and take it again. I would be the last person to say to quit. You don't ever quit. Unless you have no other option or your time has run out, don't ever quit on yourself. Get up, dust yourself off, pick your head up, and take the exam again until you pass.